Hello my dear students, welcome to my channel. Today in this video we are going to discuss a class 9 chapters the best advice I ever had summary and the main points. So a big lesson is going to be learned in a short and a small duration with the help of few main points. So let's get started with the video, but before that students, if you are viewing my video for the first time, do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get the notifications of all the upcoming videos. I suggest you to watch the video till end. Do not skip any part because it will be very useful for you all. And at the end, do hit the like button and share with your friends. So let's get quickly started with the chapter's summary. So before starting the lesson, we will see about the author. So author of this lesson is Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi Pandit, and she was an Indian diplomat, politician, and the sister of India's first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, like you know this very well-known person, that is the first Prime Minister of India. It is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi Pandit is a sister. Now, she was very active in the Indian freedom movement and held high national and international positions. Means she was very active when the Indian freedom movement was going on. She was acting and playing an active role in each and every movement which was going on. And she had a very high position even in national and international level. She was greatly influenced by the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi and joined freedom struggle. So she was influenced by the philosophy, by the thoughts, by the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi, and that is why she joined freedom struggle or freedom movement. After her husband's death in 1944, she traveled to USA. Then in 1953, she became the first woman president of the UN General Assembly. Okay, so in 1953, she was appointed as the first woman president of the UN General Assembly. Mrs. Pandit passed away on 1st December 1990. So this is the brief introduction about our author, that is Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi Pandit. Now in this lesson, the best advice I ever had. Let's see what advice she is getting and from whom is she getting that advice. Why is it so important for her? Okay. So Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi Pandit received the best advice from one of the greatest soul the world has ever known. And that's Mahatma Gandhi. Okay. As she was very much influenced by his teachings, he was very close to the family of Jawaharlal Nehru and Jawaharlal Nehru himself, and even Vijay Lakshmi Pandit, she was considering him as a leader, as a good person, and she had received once a best advice from him. So she was passing through a period of intense anguish with the demise of her husband. So what had happened to Vijay Lakshmi Pandit? It was a period of intense anguish, means seriousness, worries, tensions. Why? Because of the demise of her husband, because of the husband's death. And she was in a very serious pain. The period was very difficult for her. So during that time, she got this advice. Now, what was this advice? We'll come to know, okay? She was in worries as neither she nor her daughters had the right to share of family property, as the law said that only the male heirs were entitled to it. So she had one difficulty, one problem, that she has lost her husband. And the second thing was she was in worries that nor she nor her daughters will have any right in the share of the family property. Because the law said that only the male heirs, only the boys of the families or the descendants of the boys' descendants of the family will be given that right, and the girls are not going to get any share from the family property. So even this was a worry, a matter of worry to Vijay Lakshmi Pandit. Now Mrs. Pandit became very angry toward the family members who supported this antiquated laws. So Mrs. Pandit got very angry when she heard about this, about the old antiquated laws. Antiquated means old laws. And the family members who supported these laws And the members who said that yes, they will not get any share in the family property, she got very angry from them and she did not talk to them also. Now, she was leaving for USA to take part in conference, but before leaving, she went to pay respects to Gandhiji. So, during all these situations, she decided to leave for USA. She wanted to go to United States of America because she wanted to take part in a conference in there. And before leaving, she thought she will pay respects to Gandhiji. In the sense, she will meet him and fare a goodbye to him, and then she will go to USA. But she was not willing to meet any of the family members because she was very angry with them. So Gandhiji asked whether she had made peace with family as she was upset with the family members. So the first question Gandhiji asked her that whether did you made peace with your family, like did you talk with your family, and he asked this question because he knew that she is upset with the family members. She is angry with the family members as they are not giving any share in the family property. So he said her or asked her that has she met them? Did she talk to them? Did you give a goodbye, bid of goodbye to all the family members before leaving? So she had not, because she was not willing to go to them. Now Gandhiji convinced her in a polite manner and asked her to meet her family as decency demanded it. So in a very polite manner, Gandhiji tried to convince her that no, it's not good to go like without meeting your family members. You have to go meet them, clear all your hatred what is there in your heart, and then you go to USA, because that is what decency demanded. That is what the moral values teaches us. So you have to do that. So in very polite manner, Gandhiji convinced Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit. He also said that no one can harm one except oneself. He also said that the bitterness in her could harm her if she did not check it. So he also explained her that nobody else can harm you from outside. Only you yourself can harm. If you have so much of bitterness in your heart inside you, and if you do not correct it, it will keep on growing, and that will ultimately make a big problem, and it is going to harm you in one or the other manner. So he also said that it is not possible to escape from herself even if she moves to USA to escape from the situation. He also added by saying that it's not possible to escape from the situation. Like whatever situation is here, that you have not got the property from your family property, you are not getting any share, and you are not willing to talk to your family members, you are having hatredness for them in your heart. And if you keep this hatredness and you go to USA, even then you will not be satisfied. You cannot escape from it. Okay, so that is why he said you have to meet your family members and then only you have to go. Now these words of Gandhiji struck a deep chord in her, and she met her family members before leaving to America, and she felt that a great burden was removed from her heart. So at last she was convinced, and she met her family members before leaving to America, and after meeting she felt that she had removed a great burden from her heart. See, it's obvious when you are in problem, in trouble, and when you share that with your close or relatives or friends or kith and kin, you feel that the burden is lessened. Okay, so she felt very relaxed here. Now, while she was in New York as the leader of Indian delegation to the UN, India had a complaint regarding the treatment of people of Indian origin in South Africa. Now, when she reached there, she was in New York and she was appointed as the leader of the Indian delegation, as an Indian representative in the UN Assembly. At that time, all the Indians over there had a complaint that regarding the treatment of people of Indian origin. Like whoever Indian origin people were there in South Africa, they were not treated properly. So this was the complaint kept in this conference, in this assembly. Now, during the argument, personal attacks were made from both the sides. But suddenly she thought of Gandhiji's advice and resolved it by being polite. So now when the discussion and the arguments were going on in the conference there, when the topic was raised about the complaint regarding the treatment of people of Indian origin in South Africa. So it started having an argument there from both the parties, and they were attacking personally also in each other, on each other. So even Mrs. Pandit first started attacking with the words, but suddenly she thought of Gandhiji's advice and she realized that it's wrong on her part to do this, and she started resolving the issues by being polite. So Gandhiji's advice helped her retain her perspective even in small matters. Okay, so her point of view, her thinking, it was changed there. Why? Because Gandhiji's advice had helped her at the time. If she remembered it and she just changed her mindset. Now, Mrs. Pandit once had invited the Prime Minister of Great Britain and Lady Eden for dinner, and the guest had arrived. But the dinner was not yet ready to be served. So now one situation or one incident she is sharing from her life, personal life, that she had invited the Prime Minister of Great Britain and Lady Eden for dinner. And the guests had arrived at home, but the dinner was not yet ready to be served. So she went to the kitchen and saw her cook, and the cook was drunk and nothing ready to be served. She got very angry and wanted to dismiss the cook, but the advice of Gandhiji helped her again. So now this is a matter of very seriousness. You have invited the guests and guests have arrived and there is no servings ready there because just the cook is so careless. So she was very angry after seeing the situation of the cook. Again, the advice of Gandhiji helped her. She was so angry that she wanted to dismiss the cook. But again, she relaxed herself and somehow arranged in some other manner and served the guest. Now, Mrs. Pandit's advice to all is to retain the sense of proportion, as it's important to keep one's heart free from hatred. So she advises us it's very important to retain the sense of proportion. Like you have to judge the seriousness of the situation, of the incident. That means sense of proportion. You should know how serious the matter is, how you have to handle it. And that's very important to keep one's heart free from hatred. So if you take any decision or look into situation from your hatredness, you cannot handle anything. So she's advising everyone to retain the sense of proportion. At last, Gandhiji's advice that no one can harm you but you yourself can is applicable to everyone. So each one of us should think that nobody can harm us until we ourselves harm us. So we have to be very careful. We should not keep any hatredness for others in our heart. If you have any wrong thinking, you can talk to them and you can clarify it. So with these few points, we come to an end of the summary of this chapter. I hope you understood the lesson and it was helpful. And if you like the video, do hit the like button and share with your friends. We'll be back soon with more such videos. Thank you.